got me thinking recently about, of course, the anniversary, the sad demise of our wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. And I think one of the standout moments as people talk about her long reign was this, of course, when she hooked up with someone who's now infinitely as famous, all thanks to her, as he, Paddington Bear, and that wonderful skit, the film, that clearly she was under a lot of pain when she made the movie, but it was something, according to inside sources, that she desperately wanted to do. And how grateful we should be that she did it, because it was the highlight, I think, of the Platinum Jubilee, alongside her popping up resplendent all in green, much to the, of course, thanks of His Majesty the King Charles, who basically said, look, come down, people want to see you. She didn't feel well, but she did it. That's why she was so popular for 70 years. It's interesting, isn't it, how people think of things like that, and more importantly, of course, you think of animals and how, when you look at it, Paddington Bear has now become something of a symbol associated with Her Majesty the Queen. It's a bit like this fella, isn't it? Larry, the Downing Street cat, who's now really very much associated with the high office of course, London and the politics of the world. But it nearly didn't happen. Let me explain. Good to see you today, and as ever, thank you so much for your time. It's nice to have your company. We all love Larry, don't we? We'll have a wave. We all love Larry. I've met him, as you know, on a number of occasions. A little bit grumpy, but he's got a lot on. He's got his paw on the pulse of life, hasn't he? The big politics, that sort of stuff. But on a serious note, I don't know if you know this, but I was looking into the background of Larry, and the real reason why he ended up being in Downing Street was not really to be chief mouse catcher, although they will have, of course, mice and stuff like that, simply because of the closeness to the river. But it wasn't really that. The true story behind Larry was simply this. It was all about the fact that, in fact, the Prime Minister at the time, the Right Honourable David Cameron, well, he needed something to soften up the image, you see. And what better than, well, employing not one, but two, but three cats. If you remember, there were three originally. I can't remember the third name, but there was Gladstone. Oh, yes, it was Gladstone, Palmerston and Larry. Gladstone, I think, was in the Home Office. I'm not sure. But anyway, either way around, there were three to start with. Now, the bottom line was this, that they thought this would soften the image up of course, the Right Honourable David Cameron. And he didn't really need softening. He was quite a popular Prime Minister for some time. But what really escalated was the fact that Larry became super popular. In fact, all world leaders were asking about Larry, even signing his name on Christmas cards. I kid you not. But what's happening now over here at 10 Downing Street is a lot of people feel that Sir Keir Starmer is not being warm and friendly to Larry the Downing Street cat. Oh no. It was suggested on a recent interview for the BBC in which he spoke about numerous things. Could it be possible that Larry could be brought in for a quick shot? Oh no, couldn't be. No, it had to be taken seriously. And of course the BBC TV team knew that really this might soften the blow, soften the image, it shows a warmer side, maybe do something like that. Apparently he felt it might look him like Blofeld from James Bond, and he didn't want people thinking he was going to be some sort of anti-baddie. So Larry was shoved out the final picture. An odd thing to think, isn't it? Now, I think we should start a campaign. Shouldn't Larry be featured in most of those big important broadcasts from 10 Downing Street? Is he not the person that everybody truly wants to see? And more importantly, is the current British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Keir Starmer, trying to wipe Larry out of Downing Street history? I'll leave it up to you. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.